Chairman Martin, in April of this year, you said, and I quote, "Depending on how we structure the upcoming auction, we will either enable the emergence of a third broadband pipe, one that would be available to rural as well as urban American, or we will miss our biggest opportunity." In June, you told the USA Today that you wanted an auction where consumers can, quote, "use any wireless device and download any mobile broadband application with no restrictions." And in the draft order on the DTV spectrum auction, you established a reserve price of $4.6 billion, showing you're committed to making sure this auction pays the Treasury. I think these are three very important principles, and I agree with each one of them, and none of them are mutually exclusive. I asked you today, do you still agree with these principles, Mr. Chairman?
I do.
Thank you. I've looked at a lot of proposals for the DTV spectrum auction, and the only idea that meets each of those three tests is a wholesale model. Now, AT&T endorses open devices. That's great, but that's one part of the problem. Open platforms like wholesale fix the other part of the problem. People tell me that might be fine, but it won't draw enough bidders to meet the reserve price. Well, Google put up and made the opening bid. Tell me, Commissioner Copps, because my time is limited, what do you think of the wholesale model generally, and what Google and others like Frontline, Free Press, and the Wireless Founders Group are asking for specifically?
Well, I think it's time on part of the spectrum, the 1/3 of the spectrum, to be a little creative and to be a little innovative, try a new model. Others have gone down this line in other countries to their benefit and to our discomfort. We need, as several members have pointed out, to encourage new entrants. We need small business, rural. We need minorities. These auctions have been so much stacked in favor of incumbents over the years with the tremendous resources they have. If we're going to ever get innovation and creativity, this is the time to do it. So I think that's why we ought to be entertaining these proposals for wholesale open access.
Chairman Martin, do you agree with that?
I'm concerned about the imposition of the additional wholesale requirement. It's not only that you want someone to meet the reserve price, but you also want to have the maximum incentive for them to invest in the underlying wireless network. I'm concerned about the impact that a wholesaling requirement might make on their willingness to invest in the build out of that network. I don't think that the kind of open platforms where you have to be open to devices and software should in any way impede their ability to invest in the underlying towers for a network. But I'm concerned that if they have to sell the access to those towers at a discounted price, they might be less willing to build out the network. So that's why I'm concerned about that additional condition.
Commissioner McDowell, if we don't wholesale, how can we guarantee a new competitor, a new entrant into the market?
Well, Congressman, I've been focused on smaller market sizes. I think that addresses a lot of the public policy concerns here. If we have a variety of market sizes, small, medium, and large, for small, medium, and large bidders to bid on, we have a home for the large carriers, a home for the medium-sized carriers, and then home for entrepreneurs. This is a last 20-mile technology, not a last-mile technology, and it holds tremendous potential, but it also holds tremendous potential that we might have a local small-town entrepreneur or a regional entrepreneur like Stellara, who testified before this committee a couple of weeks ago, that may be interested. So when we're talking about a third broadband pipe, actually we have the potential here for 6 more broadband pipes to go to American consumers, depending on which band plan you want to pick. So if we had small, medium, and large market sizes available, I think that would solve the open access issue that folks are looking at. It would solve the build-out provision, the build-out to concerns as well. And also, let's not forget what we're doing in the white spaces. Our white spaces proceeding was really all about open access and will hopefully be a constructive, positive, disruptive force.
Thank you. And Commissioner Adelson, 30 seconds, because I have one more question I want to ask you all. Do you think that wholesaling locks in a business model, or does it guarantee, no matter who wins, new competition?
I think it's more likely to guarantee new competition. The beauty of wholesale is no matter who wins, and the large incumbents can win as well as Google or anybody else, that they have to provide open networks. They have to provide for competition, and all kinds of new entrants with new applications, new ideas can get involved, can use that. Small licensees as well, small operators can use that on a wholesale basis. I think it really opens up a whole world of competition.